Once upon a time, in a bustling city where languages collided and cultures intertwined, there lived a young woman named Maya. Maya had always dreamt of mastering English. Growing up in a small village, she had learned her native language well, but when she moved to the city, she realized that the world was much bigger than she had imagined. English, the language spoken by millions of people around the world, seemed to open doors to opportunities, ideas, and experiences she had never even thought possible. Maya was determined to master it, but where should she begin? Lesson 1. Start with the basics and build. Gradually. Maya began her journey with one simple rule: don't rush. English, like any language, needed to be learned step by step, and she knew that understanding the basics was key. She enrolled in an English course at a local language school, where the instructor, a friendly woman named Mrs. Roberts, always emphasized the importance of starting with simple vocabulary and grammar. Language isn't a race, Mrs. Roberts often said. Start with the foundation, and soon enough, you'll be building your castle. Maya took these words to heart. She dedicated time to learning the alphabet, basic sentence structure, and simple greetings. Every day, she spent an hour learning new words, practicing how to construct simple sentences, and familiarizing herself with the rules of pronunciation. While it felt slow at first, Maya soon realized that her effort was paying off. She could now introduce herself, ask for directions, and even order food in English. Lesson 1 taught her: starting with the basics and mastering the fundamentals is essential for building confidence and fluency in any language. Lesson 2. Practice consistently. Even in small ways. One day, while walking through the busy streets of the city, Maya met an elderly man named Mr. Thompson. He was sitting on a park bench, reading a book in English. Intrigued by his skill, Maya approached him. "Excuse me, sir," she said, her voice shaky but polite. "Can you tell me how you learned English?" Mr. Thompson smiled warmly and put down his book. "Ah, young one, the key is practice. Consistency is more important than perfection. Every day, even if it's just for a few minutes, make English a part of your day. You'll see the magic unfold." Maya was skeptical at first, thinking that she needed to dedicate hours of her day to studying. But she decided to follow Mr. Thompson's advice. Each morning, she listened to English podcasts while having breakfast. During her commute, she practiced new words on flashcards. When she had a moment, she read short stories or checked social media posts in English. She realized that even small interactions, like greeting her neighbors in English or asking a shopkeeper for help, made a difference. Soon the language began to feel more natural. She found that her vocabulary grew rapidly, and her confidence increased. Maya began to speak with others even if she made mistakes. She remembered what Mrs. Roberts had said: "Language is about communication, not perfection." Lesson 2 taught her: consistency is key. Practice every day, even in small ways, and you'll see improvement over time. Lesson 3. Immerse yourself in the language. As Maya's skills progressed, she realized that she needed to immerse herself in the language to reach the next level. She could study all the grammar rules and vocabulary in the world, but to truly understand the language, she had to experience it in context. One weekend, Maya took a trip to an international book fair in the city. She saw many books written in English, some by famous authors like J.K. Rowling and Ernest Hemingway. Maya picked up a novel and started reading it. At first, the words felt distant and unfamiliar, but the more she read, the more she became accustomed to the rhythm and flow of the language. As she read, she encountered idiomatic expressions, cultural references, and different writing styles. She couldn't understand every word, but she learned to infer meaning from context. Maya began to watch movies in English, paying attention to how native speakers used expressions, slang, and tones. She even started watching English news channels, finding that she understood more than she thought. She also started speaking to native English speakers whenever she could. Though it felt intimidating at first, she learned that immersing herself in English in its natural context made the language come alive for her. Lesson 3 taught her. True mastery comes from immersion. Engage with the language as much as possible in everyday situations, and you'll begin to think in English. Lesson 4. Learn from your mistakes. Despite all her progress, Maya still made mistakes. She occasionally mispronounced words, struggled with verb tenses, or confused prepositions. In the past, this would have discouraged her, but now she saw mistakes as an essential part of learning. One day, while practicing English with a friend named Leo, Maya misused a word during their conversation. Leo gently corrected her, and instead of feeling embarrassed, Maya smiled. "Thank you, Leo. I'll remember that next time," she said, eager to learn from the mistake. Her teacher, Mrs. Roberts, had taught her that making mistakes was natural. Mistakes are not failures. They're opportunities to grow and improve, she had said. Maya started looking at every mistake as a chance to learn. Whether it was a slip of the tongue or a grammar error, she didn't shy away from them. Instead, she took notes, researched the correct usage, and practiced it until it became second nature. The more mistakes she made, the faster she learned, and the more confident she became in using English. Lesson 4 taught her. Don't fear mistakes. They are the stepping stones to success. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep improving. Lesson 5. Be patient and enjoy the journey. Months passed, and Maya's English continued to improve. She could now hold conversations with people from all around the world, read books in their original language, and even write essays with clarity. But through it all, one thing remained clear. The journey was more important than the destination. One evening, while chatting with Leo at a cafe, Maya reflected on her progress. "You know, Leo," she said, "sometimes I get frustrated that I'm not perfect, but I've realized that learning English isn't just about fluency. It's about the experiences and the people I've met along the way. It's about the culture, the music, the books, and the world that has opened up to me." Leo smiled, nodding in agreement. Exactly. Language is more than just words. It's a doorway to a new life. Maya smiled, feeling content. She knew there was still so much to learn, but now she appreciated every moment of her journey. Whether it was a new word learned, a new conversation started, or even a new mistake made, every step brought her closer to her goal. Lesson 5 taught her, patience is crucial. Language learning is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy each step, and the results will come naturally. Lesson 6. Engage with a variety of resources. While textbooks were important, Maya discovered that language learning could be enhanced by engaging with different kinds of media. She began watching English language movies, listening to podcasts, reading blogs, and even following social media pages that taught English. At first, Maya was overwhelmed. There were so many resources available, and it seemed impossible to know which ones were the best. However, she quickly realized that engaging with different formats helped her understand the language in multiple ways. For instance, podcasts helped her with listening comprehension and pronunciation. Movies taught her slang and idiomatic expressions, while books helped with vocabulary and grammar structure. She learned to adapt to each medium, using podcasts to sharpen her listening skills and movies to understand cultural nuances. Through this variety of learning methods, Maya saw her English skills grow at an accelerated pace. Lesson 6 taught her: don't rely on just one resource. Engage with a variety of materials to deepen your understanding of the language. Lesson 7. Build confidence by speaking. Even though Maya had a growing vocabulary and improved grammar, speaking English confidently remained her biggest challenge. She knew grammar rules and could read and write well, but speaking with others made her nervous. One day she met a fellow language learner named Amira, who had been practicing English for a while. They began practicing together, speaking English, on a regular basis. At first, Maya struggled, but Amira was patient and encouraging. Through their conversations, Maya gained confidence. She started speaking more freely, without worrying too much about making mistakes. She learned that the only way to get better at speaking was to keep speaking, regardless of how imperfect it seemed. Lesson 7 taught her: the best way to build confidence in speaking is to practice speaking regularly, even if it's difficult at first. Lesson 8. Focus on vocabulary and expression. While Maya was growing confident in her ability to communicate, she realized that her vocabulary was still somewhat limited. One day, while reading a novel, she encountered several new words that she didn't understand. She made it a point to write them down, look up their meanings, and practice using them in sentences. By regularly learning and practicing new words, Maya was able to enrich her expressions. She learned that language isn't just about knowing words, it's about knowing how to use them creatively. She also began learning synonyms and antonyms, expanding her language range. Through this vocabulary expansion, she became more articulate and precise in her conversations, able to express herself with greater clarity. Lesson 8 taught her: a rich vocabulary allows you to express yourself more fully. Dedicate time to learning new words and expressions regularly. Lesson 9. Set realistic goals and celebrate milestones. As Maya advanced, she realized that setting clear, achievable goals was essential to her progress. She set a goal to read one English book every month and to hold a 10-minute conversation in English every week. These goals kept her motivated and focused. She also celebrated each milestone, whether it was finishing her first book in English or being able to order food entirely in English without hesitation. By celebrating her achievements, Maya was reminded of how far she had come. Lesson 9 taught her: set realistic goals and celebrate your progress. This keeps you motivated and helps you see the results of your efforts. Lesson 10. Never stop learning. Maya's journey continued even after reaching fluency. She realized that language learning is never truly over. It's a lifelong pursuit. There would always be new words, expressions, or cultural nuances to discover. She began learning advanced topics, such as writing essays, debating, and even understanding complex texts. Every day, she made sure to learn something new. Even though she had become fluent, Maya embraced the idea of continuous learning. The world of English was vast, and she knew there was always something exciting to uncover. Lesson 10 taught her: language learning is a lifelong journey. Never stop exploring, growing, and expanding your knowledge. Conclusion: Maya's journey to mastering English wasn't a quick one, but it was filled with meaningful lessons. She learned that mastering a language isn't about memorizing rules or speaking perfectly. It's about connecting with others, embracing mistakes, practicing consistently, and enjoying the journey. Whether through immersion, practice, or setting goals, Maya's experience showed her that the best way to learn English is by committing to it wholeheartedly, embracing each step, and never giving up.